But how we do it? It is Sunday afternoon, which means it is time for the Vegas Cup Series. This is round 9 of 10, and we are going around, spend the next hour around Sardegna, assuming there isn't a lobby crash. Because apparently that has been an issue since the Spec 3 update that I've not posted my review of yet. I need to get on that. Anyway. So we are behind because of our 2 rounds that we have missed. We missed rounds 7 and 8 due to our traveled. And so yeah, now we are playing catch up. Which means for us to do well at this point in the series, we need to consistently finish in the podiums and, to the best of our ability, snag the fastest lap. This track is going to be a hard ask because this is not a good track for me. Never has been. I doubt it ever will be. So the race should be kicking off here in 10 minutes. So while we're sitting here waiting, let's see what a lap around this track is going to look like. See, I have done laps already because that is a nice new change that they have made with the Spec 3 update, is now we can actually see what everyone's lap time is as they go around. Instead of just the gap, we can actually see what the lap is, even if they've gone off the track and into the pits. We can still see what kind of lap time they've set. So this car does not like these corners at all. So we're basically going to be slow in, slow out, which is not ideal. That corner is going to be our bane, I think. Alright, but this is basically one lap around the track. It's going to be about a minute 40s, mid 40s basically per lap. See if we can actually do a proper flyer and see if we can actually get a decent lap time in. We're struggling with quite a few corners right now. Alternatively, we could try to do a 2-stop with soft, stop, so, but I don't know how viable that's going to be, because I don't really know how long pit with fuel is going to be. Don't even really have an idea how many laps we're doing. Corners like that I struggle with anyway, even in ideal situations. We're far from ideal right now. 45 flat, really. But yeah, that's basically a lap. A whole flying lap around this track. At this point, we are now waiting on. Yeah, the lobby has been set. The grid has been set. We are starting at the back of the Pro-Ams. Because we've missed 2 rounds. Let's see who's. Big Leap. Yep, Nolander is hosting, and he is actually not going to be broadcasting this live like he normally would. He is instead going to rebroadcast this race later, in part to try to save his internet connection so that way he doesn't crash out the lobby. It's just a precaution he's taking on that end. Like I said, we're basically out of the finish anyway, so if I crash out, it's whatever. We're giving it our best anyway. But this is a track that I really would love to have had as a drop, but it is what it is. The race should be kicking off here in a couple of minutes. As a reminder, there is no qualifying for these races. It's set based off of the previous race results. And with us having missed the previous rounds, we're starting at the back of our class. And given the car that we are in, we are at a major disadvantage at the start. The Ford GT does not have a good launch. So we're gonna struggle right off the bat. And if I'm tempted, actually, you know what, we're gonna do it. We're gonna bank on a 2-stop. So we're gonna try to stop between 20 and 25 minutes in, and then again 20 to 15 laps to go. Somewhere in that realm is what we're gonna be wanting to be doing our pits. The idea is try to not use a whole lot of fuel, and we shorten our pit time by not necessarily taking a full tank. And also, I have not really driven this car since the update, so we're just got all kinds of things going against us right now. The car seems even stiffer than before, which is not boding well. It's nice and stable, which is good, but I don't know, actually, no, it being stable really isn't that good for us. I'd like a little bit of twitch. Just a little bit, though. Not a lot. But just a little bit of twitch, and this car ain't got none. That's right, we are waiting on one guy, so we may be a few minutes late starting. We're waiting on one of the AMs, who apparently has a habit of being just a smidge late. I guess in the meantime, while we wait, we'll spectate somebody. Who are we on? What is this? Oopsie, okay, let's find them. Let's go and find another. I guess Bubsy out there. Watch him go around a lap or two. Apparently he has the fastest lap so far. The lobby. This practice session. And he's in there already. Yeah, that's the Ferrari. Got a UU. And the Porsche Egon looks to be in that's the Porsche. Oscar is in the RCZ. Yeah, Rick James in the 2000 NSX. You crazy, man. Wigleb's in the Ford GT with us. Bar's running around in the Porsche. Cupcake is gonna be in the Ferrari. Black in the Ferrari. What's the Pope at in the Ferrari? Cobra in the 2000 NSX. He's also crazy. But I know he's crazy. He's crazy the same reason I am. Then we have us in the GT. And Zane and what is that? That's NSX. Steve Areno's in the Ferrari. Yeah, that's the Ferrari that Bubsy's in. Can I beat your lap? No. Not in this track. It's not happening. My hope is to just be consistent enough to basically keep up. I don't think I can beat your lap here. As much as I'm going to need to try to stay competitive in the series. I don't think it's going to happen here. This is a round that I wish was I could have as a drop round. But I missed my 2 weeks. The 2 weeks I missed are my drop rounds. And one of those is actually a track I'm good at. I don't like it, but it's a track I'm good at. Yeah, you're going as fast as I'm for that's technically my goal as well, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually accomplish that. I think at least fighting for podium, I think, would be a good result for me here. Actually, just not being last realistically is the good result here. This is just not my track. I don't do well here. I kind of wish I would have got a little bit more practice. So, if I'm wherever you are, I'm good. Oh, 10 minutes? Alright. Let's get some practice then, since we're waiting 10 minutes. See how much different this. I'm debating on it. I don't know if fuel can last me well enough to one stop, which is the only reason I would do mediums. I don't think the fuel is going to last me halfway. This car is a fuel hog. That is one thing I have noted. So it may end up being a 2-stop where I do what I was planning on doing at Deep Forest and just run softs the entire time. That may be what I end up doing. And we can't do well if we're gonna break ourselves like that. I don't think I can get halfway through the race on mediums. So I know basically a 1-stop is out of the question with this car. The question is, can the softs last at least 20 minutes? With my aggressive tire wear. Yeah, my current lap, that 45 flat is on mediums. There's a handful of corners that I am not doing well with right now. This is one of them. So I just don't do well with this track. None of these corners are my friend. None of them I say. Yeah, I'm doing good. Hit 43s on softs right now. Which is another reason why I might do the two-stop soft strategy. I feel like I'm slowing down too much there. So yeah, right now your fastest medium time is better than my fastest soft time that I've been able to do today in any lobby. There, 44.4. It's probably just stay in 5th away there. This car is just not good for this track. It's really not. I am really hamstringing myself with this car selection thing. I don't know. I probably should. I don't know if I'm starting mediums or not. That's the thing. I'm debating. Oh, do I start mediums or do I start softs? Starting in the back. You know, even on softs, I'm one of the slowest cars on the track right now. Sheesh, that's upsetting. Again, the fuel is really an unknown, but in the previous rounds, this car has not gone halfway on fuel. Part of that is my aggressive driving style. So if I would back up a little bit, I can get the fuel to stretch. But I just don't have that switch functioning correctly. Once I get going, I don't back off normally. Yeah, the one stop I will definitely need to fuel save. Lando Norris and McLaren, what did they do? Did they win today, yesterday, or something? I have not been following Formula One the way I would normally would be. Give Williams a couple warm-up laps, then we start. All right. Means we got a couple more minutes till we kick this thing off. Yeah, I think we're gonna start on mediums. Just get that first stat since we're on a heavier fuel load. Go however far we can go on them, and then soft it the rest of the way. I think that's going to be our strategy. Oh, nice. Norris won the World Championship. What? He held off for Verstappen? What? That's news. You know, the final race was this coming weekend. But it may be possible that Verstappen is mathematically out of it. Who knows? I haven't been following as well as I used to. That's for sure. Finish P3. Oh. Yeah. It's gonna be a mix of that medium to me makes sense for two reasons. A, one stop. B, even if you can't one stop, just running the slower compound on heavier fuel load, and then hope you can reclaim the ground on two short fueled soft stints. But as always, I am really going to play this round by ear. I have still kicking myself about D-Force as I audibled myself out of a win there. That was the one round I had a chance of winning, and I audibled myself out of it. Yeah. Here, or the car, I think, is going to be our biggest downfall for this round. But we still going to give it our best. That's for show. That is for show. Alright, time for that double reset. Yeah, that is one of the things that changed. Every time the lobby resets, it tells you what changed. And that's right, no longer likes to auto check in, even though it's not really necessary for a double reset. Sure. He's got one more reset he's going to do, that just to make sure we're at the right time of day. Ooh, that was close. Alright, now we check in for show. Go ahead and set that. I don't have to worry about it. We're as ready as we can be. Yeah, if you're at the front, I would expect Egon and Steve to be on softs, maybe Cupcake I could go through and spectate and look, but I am not going to do that. Alright, alright, alright. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Once you hit the start race, that is. Good luck, man, good luck. Alright, he's checked it off. 5 seconds, here we go. Whoa! What was that? What the f was that? Sorry, back off the grid, went into the dirt there. Come on. I'm waiting too long to shift there. So I don't have the lights flashing in front of me telling me to shift. I don't have an idiot light in this room. Alright, after that rough start, let's see if we can recover from it. Car just want to push to the corner right now. There goes you. Shit. That corner's killing me. Yeah, there we go. Screw that up. there goes Busby. But he saved it. GG's, man. Good job. GG's. Good save. Good save. A little squirrely there. Oh no, Kramer, hold on to it, buddy. Kind of over push there. That's kind of what happened there. There we just went too much on the inside there. A little early on the throttle there. It was early for the amount of rotation that we didn't have. Should just start on softs, like I was thinking of doing. Or didn't quite make it halfway, but he did what I wanted to do. Fastest lap I've ever done of this track. In Group 3 at least. Need to stop hitting that wall. I think starting with softs would have been the right move. So that corner requires a lot more patience than what I've been having. Sunset. Screw that up. I thought too early again. So I need to have a little more patience going around that corner. Screw that up. Just didn't get the right turn in there. Fuck! That's not what we wanted. We're gonna kind of start to get slick back there. Not sure what happened there. Screw that up again. Can we not do that? Alright, let's see if we can get back into the 42s. So actually got plenty of tire, so yeah, tire wear was not a concern. I thought it was going to be softs. That's why I started on mediums, because I was worried softs was going to deteriorate a little too quickly than they have been. Alright, we've got it's about 6.5 seconds to catch back up now to Bubsy. Screw that up a little bit. It's an improvement. We'll take it for now. Alright, I need to start doing some pith math here. Alright, so 40. Oh. It's gonna be like not entirely sure what the lap count's going to be. So we have less than 9 to go. So if I don't screw that up, I'm distracted because I'm trying to do pit math and it's not working. Oh. Oh, that might be right at 10 laps right now to go. So, yeah, we got to pay a little more time. I just don't know when the pit. Oh, why did I go in 6th? Like, I'm in semi-autopilot right now because I'm trying to do pit math. Just trying to figure out how much. So, it was 2 minutes per lap. This would be about 8 laps to go. If it was a minute and a half, it'd be about 10. Actually 11 right now. So it's probably 9 right now. 9 to go right now. We got way outbraked ourselves there. Screw that up. We'll see. Oh, she's yellow. Bruh. The fuck was that? Good thing you were ghosted, man. What the fuck was that? We need to press the slab back. You have 10 minutes to catch up, 4.5 seconds. Fuck. Screw that up. Too much on the inside. Got hooked in the dirt there, which is not what we wanted. Car's about to go for fastest lap. This is going to be the final lap. Really? Ah! No! 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 Bar started back on the final lap, asshole! Come on, Cupcake, come on, Oscar, get that fast lap. Come on, Rick James, you got it. Okay, no, no. You did not need that. You did not need that. I needed that. I needed the fastest lap point. Uh-oh. Oscar got her own cupcake. What I needed was not to have spun on the last lap. Because that could have been another attempt for me to defend the fastest lap. Your lap is like a 142.4. Mine was a 142.5. So let's have a look at it. Yeah, it works. Okay, there we have. Alright, let's look at your fastest lap. Your fastest lap is a 42.4 to my 42.5. I mean, this point system can work. It's just, it still needs tweaking. Okay, who's reporting Oscar Cupcake and Poop Pet? Oscar Poop Pet. Yeah, we're missing. Who was it? Cupcake. Where's Cupcake? Cupcake leave party? Yeah. Yeah, for this it probably would have been. I get the logic behind going to this system. It keeps the points close. However, it does disincentivize battling once you're off the podium. So there is that. But the entire point is to keep the points close instead of having one person who, well, make it more difficult for one person to run away with just a handful of wins. So I get the reasoning behind the system. It's just, it needs more tweaking, I think. Did I say that replay? Yeah, fastest lap is more bonus points than third, so I saw your play, I was like, yep, he's going for fastest lap, bastard. Oh, but GG's, well done, well done, well done. This is fun, this was fun. We just have one more round of this. One more round. Let's go to the camera screen, shall we? Oh, I was just trying. At this point, I am just trying to play spoiler at this point. I don't know. It's been a couple of seasons where it's been decided pretty early, but the disadvantage with what GTRC does is when you have people in the back. This tries to be more fair to the people in the back of the grid. Really keeps them closer, keeps it to where they can still win it at the end. That's the idea. I mean, I personally wouldn't be opposed to a system where just the top 10 get points. Well, I mean, that's what reverse grids. That's what we're doing with this. But yeah, like I said, there's tweaks. There's going to be a feedback period after this, to where we can voice our opinions. For now, this is what we have signed up for, so this is what we are running with. It's going to be fun, and it's also for a good cause, so there's that. Whew. Yeah, this is true. Zero slower guys, they have a non-zero chance. It's not far above zero, but it is still non-zero. It's still non-zero, yeah. It might effectively be zero. Oh, it's like right now, like I said, unless I win next round and get fastest lap, which given the track it is possibility. And it's double points. There is a chance I can spoil at least the podium. I think I am out of the series, the lobby championship, but I can still spoil podium, I think. Especially since I don't think drop rounds have been accounted for in the points yet. Whew. Yeah, I think Oscar's going to win because he's won most of the races. And if I remember correctly, he's also leading the overall series points. There's a little less parity in the pro-am division than there is in the pros, from what I'm gathering. What we can see in the points. Oscar's been the main one who's been winning the races of the series. It's been occasions where it's been someone else, but for the most part, it's been who could beat Oscar. Yeah, I'm like way back in 6th, I think, 6th or 7th. But that's because of my 2 missed rounds, and that have not been accounted for. I don't think we've counted drop rounds into the scoring equation yet. And then there's going to be some rounds that's going to get adjusted to make them more equitable point-wise. So yeah. I think the bit for me being quicker than Oscar is car and track. It's gonna be car and track. I think this coming the finale next week. That's my track. Well, it would be my track if we didn't have the GP portion. I am at least as quick as Oscar in the right car track combos. Like the Ursa one in Deep Forest, I was generally quicker than him. He might be. Whew. But so am I. And you and I are rough the same pace, giving tracks for some tracks. You're faster at that than I am, so. You're doing good on pad. If you're on wheel, boy, I probably couldn't keep up with it if you were on wheel. Whew. Because I know being on pad constrains your strategy somewhat. Because of worse tire wear, generally worse fuel consumption. While it's easier to save the car in slides on pad, it is overall more difficult to handle the cars. I mean, yeah, at the beginning of the year, No Lander was faster than me, and now I'm faster than No Lander. I no longer have the badge of slowest driver on Team Red. I can no longer boast that. I was up until, I'd say a few months ago, the slowest driver on Team Rad. But I think I've eclipsed a few people. I'll probably be in split 2 for a while. I think this is my first series where I'm split 2, I think. I think last series I was on the cusp of split 2. And now this series I'm solidly in split 2. So the goal is, well, depending on how well GT7 holds up against what is hoped to be rectified competition, we'll see where GT7 stands next year. Yeah, I think a couple of the split 3s were on the, kind of like me last year, on the cusp of split 2. You probably could have gotten away with being put in split 2, I think. Just a bad track and no practice on our end. Of course, I didn't have much practice either. I suck with Porsche. Alright. Oh. But I'm glad that track is out of the way. I do not like that track. Don't consider myself good there. It took me like half the race to figure out where I was losing time. Whew. And it was just a couple of it was basically the first sector that I was getting wrong. I was already doing fairly well in the last two sectors. It was just sector 1 that I was killing me. Once I figured that out, and then church, I think, was another struggle point. Whew. But next week is the finale at the Nürburgring, the 24-hour layout of Nürburgring. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a blast. I love that track. The 24-hour layout is probably my third favorite track in the game, and it is one of my stronger tracks. So I'm hoping to do well. The 4GT is a shockingly good car there. So, oh, that's gonna be something to look forward to. Whew. But I am tired and I am hungry, so I'm going to give me some food. Gonna fuel me up. Get ready for this week. This is technically my streaming off season. The only streaming I'm doing is these league races, and once they're done, they're done. We're done for the year, streaming wise. I think the Group 4 series carries on into January as the MX5 Cup. So that's going to be our main streams, and after this is done next week, the GTRC series. But yeah, I kind of thought he did. I'm kind of was half expecting it to be red flagged, just because like the entire back half of the grid was in the dirt because of that. It's like red flag, no red flag. Okay, I think that should have been a red flag. But what can we do besides adapt and overcome? That's basically what that turned into. I mean, like I said, I think it should have been red flagged. Just like it was like the issue with the Road Atlanta last week. That I think should have been red flagged, because you had basically the entire back of half of the grid off in turn 1. But it is what it is. It's probably gonna be a case of if you don't report him, someone else is going to. So it could be me, it could be you. I think you was caught up in it. Yeah, he's hit and miss. I'll give him that. He is hit and miss. He might have been paying more to the front. He likes to. I do know he likes at the beginning of the race to watch the front half of the race. So that's where a lot of your action seems to be, according to him, anyway. And then as a result, he ends up missing stuff that happens in the back half of the grid. Of course, he wasn't live streaming this time, so he could have just hung out on someone in the middle of the pack and watched, because he wasn't live streaming this. He's going to redo it as a rebroadcast. So he could have caught it, but he didn't. I might have to put in a ticket for that too. Gosh, because that should have been red flagged. Yeah, there was. The back part got spread out very early, but it kind of, for the most part, closed up over the course of the first stint. Basically, the rear of the grid kind of was able to scrunch back up a little bit and get a little bit of action in there. Whew, so it was overall a good race, fun race. One of those tracks that I'm glad it's over with. And now we get to look forward to next weekend. Whew. But yeah, I'm gonna sign off now. I'm gonna go get me some food, maybe a drink. I need a drink after that. But only 3. I'm pretty sure it was more. It seemed like more than 30 went off. Of course, I'm not looking at the replay right now. I'm not gonna look at it until a bit later. But that's going to do it for me today. Appreciate the likes, shares, the follows. Helps the channel grow. Helps get our message out. And our message is that you matter. You are important. The light that you bring to this world makes it that much better and that much brighter. If you need help, reach out. Whether it's to me, to someone you know and trust all over your life, or the first person you meet who is willing to sit and help over a pint of beer. But you gotta take that first, all-important, and most difficult step and admit to yourself that you cannot do it alone. That you need a helping hand. And then reach out and ask for that helping hand. Then once you get it, things start to get better. Maybe not easier, but definitely better. Sun starts to feel a little warmer, clouds a little less gray. I am the Damn Cat signing off. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I hope to see you next weekend. Until then.